Hello and welcome back to Heiser Media's coverage of the 2024 Discraft CCR Open fueled by Great Lakes Disc. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Q Series event. We're very excited to bring you this back nine coverage of round one. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Nick Hanson. How's it going, Nick?
It's going good, man. I'm excited to be here for this event. It's a great two-course property. I would have liked to see a little more of our card on that front nine, but hoping they can pick it up here on the back nine, and we'll maybe see some of them again tomorrow.
Yeah, Braden Sides leading the way through 9 holes at 6 under par. Like you said, Nick, we're likely to see some double-digit scores in the lead, so we'll see if our lead card, or feature card, I should say, can catch that, make that mark.
Yeah, hole 10 here, 364 feet, par 3. You have OB on that right side that, you might see players try and throw a big hyzer up and around. But let's get to an FPO check-in here today. If you watch the front nine, you're going to see that we have some of these today. And oh my goodness, is that a park job for Ramon Scoggins? She has been on it today. We are excited to have these FPO check-ins from Crew 42.
Jumping right back into our MPO coverage, we've got Luke Taylor leading the way on this card, at least at 4 under par. And that is absolutely based with the big hyzer from him. Looking to get to 5.
And, that's one of the routes. Tim is throwing a route that I feel is going to be probably more played by the card we have. Hard turnover on the sidearm and then have it come back in, as he is going to fade out early in BOB, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is the one mistake you can't make on this hole with that OB right, just under turning the sidearm. See if Marwede can make the correction. This one is pushing a little bit more, but still fading out a bit early.
I was going to say, it didn't look like he got it turned as well. He really needed to turn it all the way to that. We have some wildlife running across the fairway there. A little deer in the park. Sorry, back to the action.
We love a little nature appreciation moment out there. Lot does turn it enough, but gives it a little too much juice, finds the rough deep of the basket. We'll see if he has any sort of look from back there. So Tim waited 9 holes to get his first birdie of the round, and unfortunately going to follow that up with a bogey on the 10th. Marwede still off to a bit of a slow start as well. Just 1 birdie and now 9 pars on his round.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of pars out of this group today, and unfortunately, not what you need at this course. This course just allows for a lot of birdie opportunities, and if you sprinkle a couple bogeys in there, you're going to be in trouble. So we see Luke tapping in an absolute park job here on the 10th to continue what he did on the front nine.
Yeah, great way to start the back. As Tim taps in, we do want to thank Steve Way Builders as the course sponsor of this Renegade Trail course as we take a look at hole 11.
Hole 11, par 4, 732 feet. You have OB on the left and right side. It's hard to tell, but you are going downhill right now. And when you get to about this point here, you start to slowly work back uphill. It's very controlled shots are needed here to get up and down for birdie. So we see an upshot here from Vanessa.
Does leak a bit long. She will have this comebacker for her birdie.
Gets it to go. Another birdie for her on the day.
Looking to keep pace with Owen Scoggins at the top.
Which is never an easy task.
No, definitely not. So Luke Taylor with the box again.
think this is that flippy driver he threw on hole 3 as well, and doesn't get the cut roll he got last time. That's going to be in a good position.
Yeah, have we seen one forehand out of Luke yet?
We have not. And there's been times that I thought we'd see one already.
Yeah, especially with the other 3 members of our card being so forehand dominant. It's a nice change of pace to see some more touchy, flippy lines that Luke has been throwing out here. Silver going to go with the sidearm. Unsurprisingly, this is absolutely cooked if it comes out, but not quite. A bit too straight and finds the out of bounds.
Yeah, you really want to throw like a power shot off this tee, but it's more important just to get it in play. As we see Tim going with a roller here. And that is going to be money if it stands up.
Never stands up, but just holds cut the whole way and sits on the edge of the rough.
It's tough for it to stand up once it starts going downhill in the grass, but it's going to be up there.
Just a pitch out back into the fairway from Marwede. And Lätt going to get aggressive after going out of bounds on that first shot. And that one gets through a good ways up there. He's going to have a long look to save the par.
Tim's shot is going to fade off into that rough there as well. You really want to be looking at this green straight on. If you're moving too much right to left, it's likely you're going to find the rough.
Yeah, and after biting off a ton off the tee, Luke, nice hyzer flip into the green.
Money. As you saw, that like baby turn where it kept just riding is what you need for this type of shot. And as you see, he's inside the circle for another birdie.
Yeah, playing well, Marwede with a nice upshot for himself. About a 20-footer left for par. Tim on the edge of the rough. Probably just going to pitch this one up. We saw some long putts from Lätt on the front 9. See if he can draw another one up here. This one would be to save the par after finding the OB on his tee shot. Tickles a chain, but doesn't stick, and now has a bit of a comebacker left.
Oh, and another. Unfortunate for Lätt there. He's going to be tapping in double bogey now, I think.
Yeah, that's a tough one to take. Second of the round. Just hasn't really been able to get in a rhythm yet today. Really nobody has except Luke Taylor. Has had a couple of good stretches of holes. Started out 4 through 5 and now is looking to get 4 in a row, 8 through 11. And he's starting to put a really solid round together.
Yeah, he is. Minus those 2 bogeys there on 6 and 7. He's playing good for this rain. And just to mention, during hole 11, we actually had about a 30-minute weather delay. So just how bad that weather is today. But here we are, hole 12, 269 feet, par 3. These Guardians right here are about the only thing that you really need to miss. As we see an FPO check in here with Owen Scoggins throwing the backhand. She's going to make her way to about 10 feet.
Yeah, well thrown. Knocks down the short birdie putt. Still on that heater. See if Luke can keep his nice round going here with a similar shot. Looks like a zone in hand.
Ooh, it looks a little short. Oh, but he's going to get a nice skip, and he's going to be actually inside the circle.
Yeah, fortunate to get through some of those late trees. Safest way to attack this hole is definitely what Scoggins did, going out and around. But if you want to park it, you got to get a little sneaky.
Marwede. Wow. Skipping up the hill and a little deep, but well within range.
This is looking good from Barham as well, but just catches that last tree on the end. Gotta miss that last one on either side. Will do the trick, but 2 for 2.
Yeah, a lot of our players here opting for that inside line and trying to just kind of sneak through those trees. He's going to be able to get up and down for par. So we see Tim just kind of throw a layup there, not messing with that green, risking the roll away if he does hit.
Yeah, so Marwede, after going a little bit deep, has this 28-foot comebacker for his birdie. Not a problem for one of the best putters in the world. Just hasn't quite given himself enough looks today to score on this course. But Luke has had plenty of looks. Another short birdie putt for him that he connects with to get to 7 under. Definitely on pace right now to stay on this lead card.
Yeah, and 5 in a row. Coming after those 2 back-to-back bogeys, he is, you could say, on a heater right now.
Oh yeah, this is an official heater. No gray on the scorecard either in the last 9. A lot of action.
So we take a quick look at this leaderboard. Lucas actually jumped into the lead here at 7 under par. Pretty impressive here, especially with the weather that they're dealing with. You know, the weather wasn't as bad to start the day. It's kind of come on a little stronger as we move into hole 13. Another one of these good 2-shot par 4s that they have here. If you can land about in this zone here, you're going to be able to attack this gap and get up to the green. As you will see, there are a couple of these sand trap-ish bunkers that are ROB on this hole, as we have a check-in with Kristen Tatar.
Haven't seen too much of Kristen yet today. She got off to a bit of a slow start.
Oh, wow.
That is a great way to turn things around.
Yes,
Drive
it
was
is.
absolutely smoked.
They do play a shorter tee, but getting into that gap is impressive either way, and she's going to have a tap-in birdie from there.
Yeah, looking to get back into the conversation. We mentioned earlier, Scoggins and Van Dyken are absolutely shredding this course. So Tatar's going to have to do some work if she wants to get back into this thing.
We see Luke opting for the turnover here. No surprise. If you can get it to turn and then just fade out a little bit. He's actually maybe pushed this too long and might be against that tree line. Interesting to see where he's at.
Yeah, it's one of those holes where placement definitely more important than distance. That's why this sidearm is a nice play. Can't really go too far. Pretty much will always have some sort of upshot into the green from where Marwede landed.
Yeah, this course really delivers great 2-shot par 4s where you don't need to throw your max distance shots at all to get the birdies. You just need to put it in play and throw 2 great controlled shots.
Nice shot for Tim in a very similar spot. would assume silver will show us pretty much the same here. Just a nice spiky forehand from him. Oh, actually flirting with that right side out of bounds
Yeah, so
bunker.
that's one of those like islands or whatever you want to call them that are kind of spread throughout this fairway.
So Marwede with the backhand into the green, and that was just a bit short.
Within range for Marwede, but like you said, a bit short and uncharacteristic miss, I would say, for him.
Yeah, just didn't quite get it around the corner. See if Barham can make the correction. This looks like it's pushing a bit more. Oh yeah, it checks up nicely.
Barham will get himself back to under par with that one.
Lott's trying to get himself back to even par. That's a good step in the right direction, and very curious to see what Luke does here. Does he try to cut the corner and go through the stuff, or does he go out and around? And I think he's going to take the aggressive line.
Wow.
Not a bad result.
He's got some mental gymnastics to do with his putt here, though, with that sand trap behind. As Marwede gives it a great bid, but cannot connect. Looks to be running this, no doubt.
I guess when you've got the last 5 holes, you got to at least give it a bid. Does that stay safe? Just barely.
Silver grabbing a birdie here. Getting himself back to even with that.
Yep, so the first par in a while for Taylor. Stays at 7 under, but not a bad result after that tricky lie that he had after the tee shot.
Tim also tapping in a birdie, getting himself under par, like I was saying. But here we are, hole 15. 344 feet, par 3, playing left to right. It's kind of on a slope with a low ceiling entrance to the green. So either getting one to kind of like just scoot up to it or like skip in is going to be ideal. Here we have the FPO playing from their tee pad. As you see,
Or you just go through the ceiling.
Yeah, you can do that, as we just saw. Own hitting that hillside and kind of just trickling out. Gonna give herself a 25-footer for birdie.
I've never seen Own miss a putt in my life. I don't think she misses putts. It's just they just always go in. I don't know what kind of magic or what kind of deal with the devil she made to get that ability, but I want it.
Tim going with his sidearm. Looks a little overturned. It's not going to have enough time to get back. It's going to catch those grouping of trees that you need to go right in front of. Let's see if Silver can adjust and get one close to the basket. Oh, this is looking much better. Oh, but also catching those just barely.
Yeah, just pushed it a bit too straight. This is kind of at that awkward distance, I think, for a lot of these guys where, especially for the sidearm, it's maybe a little too far for the fairway driver, especially when you want to get that skip up the hill. But the distance driver can be tough to get it on the right angle and get it fading at the right point of the flight.
Yeah, as we see Luke going with the turnover there, ending up a little short. Still should have a look at birdie.
This one's looking much better for Marwede, and he gets the skip as well.
Very nice. So we see what Tim has here with hitting that grouping of trees. Gonna just have to pitch it up and take his par and move on to the next one. And look at that beauty. What an upshot.
Another long birdie look from Lott. Call this one a 50-footer. Puts a floaty effort on it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. He's been giving these, 60 to 80 footers great runs today.
Yeah, great touch on those long putts. Luke Taylor with some nice touch on that one. Drops it in from 40 feet up the hill for yet another birdie.
Marwede able to connect for another birdie here. Getting him to 3 under par on the day.
Yeah, Andrew definitely not out of this thing. We've got a pretty scoreable stretch of holes coming up here to finish. So if he can get, birdie out or maybe all but one, definitely can put himself on maybe the second or third card and still in position to make a run at this thing.
So moving to hole 15, par 3, 344 feet. You have OB on the right and left side. Once again, you also have some OB sand right by the green. So really just kind of placing your shot where you think you're going to be in the best position to make a putt. As we see Owen here on the tee going with a backhand.
Oh, she's going wide. Spikeheiser. Interesting decision. But it looks like it's working out just fine. Spikes it just behind the basket.
Yeah, very nice. The FPO tee pad is a little closer, so they do have that ability to go out and around, whereas if the MPO wants to do that, they need to do more of a flex shot.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone on this card going to go straight at it. This one looks a bit left. We'll see if it hangs on for Taylor.
He grabs that tree there. He's going to drop down in circle 2. Marwede. This is going to leak, I think.
Yep, out of bounds right.
Really some uncharacteristic airs coming out of Marwede today, I would say.
Yeah, just doesn't have his A game and with the out of bounds and way this course lays out, tough to score if you don't have it. As that's just an unfortunate result for Barham. A well thrown shot that just barely leaks into that out of bounds bunker.
Yeah, how do you feel about bunkers like that are within the circle?
I think it depends on the course. I think a hole like this is a little bit too demanding of a line to have it that close. But I think if you're throwing like a wide open up shot and you have a fair landing zone on the other side of the green, it can be a nice touch as Luke Taylor continues his heater, dropping another circle 2 putt for birdie on hole 15.
He's feeling it. Let's see if Marwede can clean this up for par. This would be a great putt. Oh, and that he does. He hasn't made them today, but he's made them when he needs it. And, keeping that clean scorecard there, he's not getting birdies, but he's also not taking bogeys.
Yeah, now Lott with another circle 2 putt of his own. He's been all over the basket from out here today. Actually, this might be just barely inside. Oh, yeah. Spins it in to get back to 1 under. And a nice par save there from Tim.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate because with how demanding this hole is, I thought it was still a pretty good shot. But take a quick look at our leaderboard. GT Hancock and Luke Taylor tied at 9 under par here as we see a stacked field all the way down to 5 under. So anybody's game at this point, obviously, with how much time we have left, but it's good to see some players getting out to a hot start as we get into hole 16, 289 feet, par 3. take your best disc that you can throw straight and put it on a line, and you should be under the basket. As we have an FPO check-in here with Vanessa.
Nice hyzer flip, looking to get a bit of ground play, and she does. Puts her at about 20 feet for the birdie.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a feeling we're consistently seeing her pass the basket for these birdies. She is making sure not to leave these short.
Yeah, I mean, she's been playing well all around, keeping herself in the conversation. Luke Taylor still tied for the lead. This is a bit overturned. We'll see how it reacts at the end. And yeah, no friendly kicks there. So he's going to have a tough putt, if any, from inside those that rough. Marwede following Lot with that sidearm play. Very similar result. They overturned and drying up right around circle's edge. Barham with the sidearm as well. It's surprising to see. I think this hole definitely shapes better for the straight mid-range backhand play, but if you throw it like that, can't blame him.
Oh, what a shot. As we see Luke putting from inside the jungle. Oh, wow.
Not a bad effort.
We'll take that.
So a lot from right around 30 feet. Oh, a lot of chains left side, but doesn't stick.
See if we can get another one from Marwede here after that last one. Hopefully got him going.
Yeah, hearts it. Gets him to 4 under.
And if he can get these next two, he's going to be in position to, still attack tomorrow and be in this hunt.
Yeah,
Sure, he
hole
wants
16.
more, 6 down, but
Of course, yeah, definitely. I'm sure not happy with the round, but definitely could be worse. Keeping himself in it. Hole 16 did play as the second easiest hole on the course. And we're heading into 17, which did play as the easiest, so a couple of gettable holes here down the stretch.
all right, hole 17, 180 feet par 3. This is an island hole that everything around it plays as hazard. It's kind of one of those holes that you kind of just, in my opinion, you just throw it into the trees and hope it drops.
Yep, Marwede does just that. The tree catches it nicely, and he's going to be left with about a 25-footer.
Oh, this looks kind of high. It's going to need to get down. And it does.
Yeah, at only 180 feet, this is one that you definitely are kicking yourself if you don't at least get a look for birdie. That one was a little lower from Taylor, and it avoided that last tree very nicely to scoot up inside the circle.
4 very similar plays from our players and all inside the circle.
So Marwede first out. 25-footer, 28-footer, so knocks it down. Yeah, 76% of the field taking birdie on this hole, on an island hole. Kind of surprising, but I guess when it's only 180 feet, not too much danger at all.
You got to be getting this one at this level.
As Luke taps this in, we are going to see our first star frame of the day from the card, as you would expect. As we
And
hit the
Luke,
18.
yep, hitting an 18, and Luke making it to that double-digit mark. All right, hole 18, our last hole of the day, par 3, 399 feet. This is a fun hole. It's downhill quite a bit. You need something that, kind of pushes to the left but doesn't hyzer out. So we see another FPO check in here with Own. Little scramble out of the trees. So it looked like she might have pushed too deep on her drive, and what a shot bouncing up to the basket. Gonna
Sticks
get
it.
herself out of here with a par on the last hole.
Yeah, and that puts her at 11 under, tying the hot round of the day. So great round from Scoggins. As a reminder, you can watch that FPO coverage when it comes out from Crew 42 in a couple of days. Andrew Marwede pulls his drive a bit, coming up short. Will most likely just pitch that one up to save the par. And just an absolutely beautiful green that they've built up here on the 18th here.
And he's out there. Gonna have about 35 footer or so for birdie. Wow, and Luke looks like he could be lining up the spike turnover. I've seen this with like an overhand going this way, but not really a turnover. So very interested to see this. Oh, and we see it coming back now from the catch cam. Oh, wow. My goodness. The trust in that disc to put it up that high on a certain line and just know that it's going to get all the way back right to the basket. That's knowing your Frisbees.
Yeah, wow, what a wild shot from Luke. And Silver just a bit underturned from him out of the hand. Fades out into that right side rough, so a couple of long looks. Marwede actually going to give this a go. And splashes it in the fountain.
We actually, I think 2 years back now, we saw a playoff putt from right there to win the tournament. So very likely that it would have went in, and especially from him.
Birdie putt from Tim, just a bit off. A tough ceiling to deal with for Luke. Try to get himself to 11 under. Just a bit low.
Good run, though, from a knee back there, I would say, as we get a look at this fountain from the backside. Great addition to this property.
Yeah, great feature. Better back nine from Barham to get himself to 3 under. Oh, no.
Oh, and Luke is going to drop himself to 9 under with a bogey here. And that was just a mental error, unfortunately.
Yeah, just a short putt miss to end his round. That is not how you want to finish. And we'll see where that puts him on the leaderboard here in just a second. Marwede taking some casual relief from the fountain. Finishes at 5 under. Not what he was looking for, but still a solid round. As we take a look at the leaderboard here.
Yeah, what a round from Luke Taylor there. It's great to see that. I'm sad to see that bogey on the last hole, but other than that, a pretty good back nine out of Luke. Andrew Marwede with a very clean back nine, getting him to 5 under par. Excited to head to the woods tomorrow, though.
Yeah, 2-course tournament, like you mentioned, Nick. As we take a look at the leaderboard, GT Hancock, already 1 Q Series win under his belt this year, looking to get another. Braden Sides, Paul Krantz, and Joel Freeman following close behind. That will be our lead card for tomorrow at the CCR Open. Thank you to Elevation Discs for supporting this coverage. And for Nick Hanson, I'm Nathan Johnson. We got 2 more rounds of this tournament coming up this weekend, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, and we'll see you then.